What is up, winning team? Now I'm going to say from the beginning, I don't recommend you watch this video because I'm about to exercise my free will to the highest extent. And that is saying whatever the hell I have to say while I'm in the trenches of having a womb. And can I tell you, I have never wanted to tear a physical part of my body out of myself more than now. And I'm telling you, it gets worse with age, but that's not even what we're going to be talking about. Because I was just like, you know what I've said to you guys before, that I feel like when we have when we have our period as women, it's like a spiritual thing. Like whatever's you're feeling already just comes amplified. And that's so true, because the last time I went through this, I was on cloud 9. Do you guys remember? Don't know if you do. And this time, it's like everything was already annoying me. Like, this is like the final nail in the coffin. And I just have a lot of stuff to talk about that I want to get off my chest, rather than what I normally do, which is try to avoid talking about certain things until it's over. I realized the whole reason I started this channel is because I had nowhere to say what I wanted to say. So why am I stopping myself from saying what I want to say, the only place where I can say what I want to say? How does that make any sense? So let's break it all down a little bit, okay? Backtrack. For starters, I just want to say this as the foundation. This is the conclusion I'm about to state. And then everything I'm going to say in front of that afterwards is going to explain what led to said conclusion. I genuinely feel that nothing is just worth it. Like, it's not. Like, everything sounds so exhausting in life. And I have been feeling like this for months, and it's like been years, but it's been getting progressively worse as time goes on. And it's like now I'm struggling even just to do the basics. And I'm just like, when does it end? And you know when it really started to hit me? When I would come and sit here, this is why I've been struggling to record sitting here, because I'm sick of staring at this. I'm sick of staring at me here with this wall, with this, just everything here. I'm sick of looking at myself and seeing that I'm just struggling to hold on. Like, part of the reason I even decided to record a video is because I'm trying to break the cycle of cry, work, work, cry, cry, work, work, cry, try to eat, try to sleep, can't, cry, work, work, cry. And I'm just like, when does it end, God? Like, seriously, when does it end? And like, this is just something I didn't need. Like, this is actually something I didn't need. And the crazy part about this is I don't even have like the cramps. It's everything else is almost just as bad. Like, the discomfort I'm feeling, I couldn't even eat as much as I wanted to. And this all brings me back to David in the books of Samuel that we were reading in the Bible, because one of the reasons I haven't finished that series, and many of them, well, the current series I haven't finished about evil and all that. I might make a video about that, because I actually had a couple of thoughts about the devil and about a few things. So maybe if I'm feeling stronger, if the Holy Spirit wants to kick in more strongly, I'll actually record those after this. But when I was reading about David, see, I can feel the energy just out, not even in my body. It was just the length of how long it was going on, you know, because God's there like, okay, Saul's messed up, yada, yada, yada. And, yeah, I'm feeling emotional again. See, I'm just be crying and crying and crying. And God's like, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And then we spent how many days, weeks before we even got to the part where David actually becomes king. Which, little do you guys know, unless you've read it yourself, the story. And this is why I haven't continued. This is actually why I stopped where I stopped in the last video I did about that. He's now going to have to fight again. So after he already, right, he's running away. When I tell you that these Bible stories are way too freaking relatable, and that's what's horrifying me, guys. Because I'm like, before it was all faith building, and now it's like, oh, this is just what it is to be here. Like, this is just what it is to be on this side. Like, it is just not for the freaking weak. And the Bible also says, when I'm weak, then he is strong. I can't even remember the scripture properly. And so I'm going to need that strength to kick in, because I actually don't think I have anything left. Like, I literally can't even exist anymore. Like, the existing is literally so exhausting. Like, this is why I didn't need my period, because sometimes I'm just like, oh. When I'm not working, I literally just stay in bed. And I try to just like sleep and just rest. I really try. I can't explain it. And I just can't, because everywhere is like a freaking battlefield. My dreams are a freaking battlefield. The world is a freaking battlefield. There is no break. There is no breather anywhere. This is why I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to be anywhere in the world. I don't want to go on any little 2-week little holiday. I don't want to do nothing. I've been thinking, if I had all the money in the world, I still don't think it would be worth it. If I could wake up with the singing voice I'd like to have tomorrow and write the album of my dreams, I still don't think it would be worth it. I don't think anything will be worth it. I don't see the point anymore. Like, I'm at that point. Because it just gets to a stage where it's like, you know what, God? This is just a lot to deal with by yourself. It really is. It's just a lot. And it's a lot to deal with when you have to be the one who maintains your composure, maintains your, dignity, stays the path. Because this is what's frustrating me about times like these, right? I'm not doing too good. I'm struggling. I'm doing my best. And I've accepted that a few things, right? The fact that I have to come to the internet to share the deepest parts of everything that's going on with me, because I have nowhere else to do so, is crazy to think about. Because you know what people say? Oh, this is the internet. The internet's forever. Where the frigging hell else am I supposed to go? Because the rest of the time, I'm having to deal with adults who behave like children, or who lie, or who whatever. I have to be on the defense. I have to be in battle mode. I have to be the one to bite my tongue and clench my fists and close my mouth. I have to be the one, because if not, chaos will ensue, because I'm still just a human. So while I'm here maintaining myself, trying my best fight, and it's not good enough. That's the thing. I know it's not good enough, my efforts. And that's why I'm just like, God, just like, at what point? You know what I mean? At what point? I just, I don't even know what I need anymore. So David's going on and on and on, right? He gets all this nice prophecy, right? Wasn't even chosen. He was out shepherding the sheep, as I like to say. And he then gets called, after the fact, because even Samuel thought, oh, it's probably one of these guys that God's thinking of. And it wasn't. And then he calls David and he's all like, yeah, you're going to be king next. And then Saul, who has the favor of the people, the jury of the damn sheeple, right? Parading around, just making every mistake in the book, choosing God when it suits him and not choosing him when he doesn't. Does this sound familiar? Right? He's the one going after David, and so David has to hide in caves. Like, this is what I'm saying. I'm taking this all in, because I'm like, this is actually the reality. Like, I actually came to understand, by the way, why people do evil. Because of this TV program I was watching, and there's a character on there who perfectly looks like Jezebel, displays Jezebel, stunningly gorgeous, doesn't get what she wants. Like, and she made me realize something. So we'll come back to that. I'm just going to get it all off my chest today, I think. Screw it. I'm going to be wrong anyway. Everything I do is wrong with the human creations. It's never good enough. So I may as well just say whatever, right? I may as well just do whatever, because guess what? Even on my best behavior. And I think that's the other thing why I think it's not worth it, because I'm like, oh my gosh, all these times when I did everything right, and then you have people who can't even do what you've done are still the ones they're critiquing you. And you might say, I shouldn't listen. It's like, so then I need to be alone. That's why I'm so desperate to be by myself alone. Because people don't respond well to God's people. Like, they don't respond well to winners. They don't. Unless they're a winner themselves or they're humble themselves. And can I tell you, that's not most people. It's not. So, anyways, Saul is parading around getting given the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 12th, 5,000th chance by God. Like, hey, I'm trying to keep you there. Okay, I can't let your bloodline go on, but you can keep your throne. Okay, now I have to take the throne from you. And now, guess what? The whole of everyone has to deal with his little feelings because he was disobedient. He got himself where he was warned, and him in his pride decides instead that somehow the conclusion and the solution is to go after freaking David. To go after David. That's his solution. I'm going to go after David and I'm going to try and kill him, as if that's going to put him back on the throne. As if David is even his opponent. As if David would even be being on an option without him being disobedient in the first place. And this is exactly how I feel, guys, about the older generations. And this is why I'm sick of hearing it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these people, because it's like, you people had your chance and I just wish they would step down and step out. I'm sick of watching the politics. I'm sick of seeing it all. I'm sick. Donald Trump can barely stand on stage. The prime ministers and whatnot here. These people probably graduated from university the year my parents were born. These are the people running the world. And there's all this craziness going on. All this craziness. We need vitality. We need new ideas. Guess what? The old ideas don't work. Guess what? Why do we keep seeing this thing, yeah? And this is what's frustrating me. Like, as I was getting ready to record this, right? I went to the one place I can go to, the Sidemen. Because ever since that was like the only thing I could listen to when I was having a miscarriage. Ever since then, I know that they motivate me. You know why? They're young. They all along, right? I remember KSI. I was just watching while I was getting ready to record, right? Rather, I was eating. The first meal I've eaten in 24 hours, and I needed to force myself because this isn't going to be good. You need to help replenish your body because it's going through hell. He did a video. It was answering your assumptions, and people were so brutal with it, but that wasn't the point. I grew up watching KSI. I didn't watch him loads when I was growing up. I watched him more as an adult, but I always respected him from a distance because I could see, in my mind, I'm like, you're so harmless, and it always bothered me that older people be like, oh, these kids wasting their time, wasting this, wasting that, right? But I'm like, what is he really doing to hurt anyone? Even just now, before I started recording, I was watching this video. Every time I lose, win £1,000. So he's got his subscribers, right, who come to this shoot. They're doing 8 different sports. There's 10 of them. If they manage to beat him at any of these sports, they win 1,000. Whoever wins the most of all of the games is going to get 10,000. So this guy is putting out potentially 80k just for the sake of it. He's already doing his try not to laughs where you get 1,000 if you make him laugh. He's already doing his giving away 1,000 every single month to his subscriber. He's giving away money, and he's been known to do that, by the way. And I'm sitting here thinking of all the prideful adults in the older generations, yeah, who had everything to say about people like him while we were growing up, while they were just mindfully making comedy skits and silly videos and playing games on the internet. And meanwhile, all the freaking adults, all these legends, all these church leaders, all these politicians, all these celebrities that these people went on and on about are the ones hurting children. And they're the ones you people respect. Oh my gosh. I hate it here. And it's the ironies. Because now he's famous. Now the older generation wants to have them on X Factor and on TV. I think my generation needs to stop getting involved in this stuff and just say, hey, you guys didn't want to hear us before. You were talking down on us this whole time. So skedaddle with that. Skedaddle. And I've just seen so many examples of this. Like I told you guys, I was working with this family, right? This is years back now. And I was sitting there, right? So I was like half child minding, half helping them with homeschool, whatever, with their kids. I'd always be there at dinner time because I would leave after all the kids were asleep, went to bed. So I would always sit and have dinner with the family. And I do what I've done my whole life. This is why I feel like I have so much to say, right? Especially being usually, if I'm amongst adults, I'm usually the youngest. And if I'm amongst young people, I'm usually the oldest. So I'm never really fit in anywhere. And I've always like kind of just been observing. And then of course, it's the whole classic of having grown up in different countries, having been around so many communities, so many different people, so many different churches, so many different experiences, you know, so many different industries that I've been a part of or at least had a little taste of and types of people. So my thoughts and opinions are not based off of a tiny small, because this is the other thing I think the older generations don't realize. A lot of them grew up in like a little small bubble. Their local, like their fundamental formative years, they were in a fixed place for a lot of them, in a fixed environment without very much knowledge of what's happening in the rest of the world. I often ask myself, how would my life differ if I just didn't know what was happening in the rest of the world? Because I won't be feeling like this. Because you see why I said before, there's nothing I want here. There's nowhere I want to go. Because it's the same problem everywhere. Same text, different font. There's no hope in, oh, if I go and I'm going to move to South Korea and that's going to be great. Or, oh, I'm going to move to Australia. I'm going to move to South America. I'm going to move to... There's no hope there. There's just a different version of the same nonsense. The same nonsense. So we literally know too much. Ignorance is bliss. So this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, right? And it's like, because we now have access to so much information in my generation, we now know just so much more. So maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a reason Gen Z is the one picking up Bibles more than anybody else, because we need a miracle. Maybe there's a reason, right, why we are now, the gyms are struggling with business, because now we're actually showing up to the gym. Because it's one of our few third spaces that we actually have. So now they're having the problem because they're used to just getting people to sign up, especially times like this, who are not going to show up. But guess what? We're showing up. Guess what? We're affecting the alcohol industry because they're like, people aren't drinking the way they used to. I've been thinking about this, yeah? I've been thinking about how stupid it is, right? That I'm reading the Britney Spears book, right? Where in this book it's talking about how she was in the car, she was with this, everybody was just drinking and driving. And now the older generation wants to be like, how selfish of someone to be drinking at the wheel. I'm like, yo, you are on cocaine. You are on everything, doing anything. Coca-Cola literally had cocaine. And you people now want to sit in your high horse of self-righteousness, but then again, only when it suits you. Because when it's calling out these leaders hurting children, well, we need to see the proof. I don't know if that really happened. It's just the allegation. Separate the artist from the art. Shut up about separate the artist from the art. The art came from the artist. They won together. That's something I've learned in writing music. That's why I hate it. This is exactly why I never wanted to get into singing, you guys, because I was like, I'm going to have to bear my heart out. I'm going to have to share more than I want to share, because it has to come from a real place. If I want it to be if it's going to be something I'm going to be proud of, right? Even if it's not perfect, it has to come from a real place. So that's why I know when I see things of people, I'm like, that came from a real place. You think that just came out from nowhere? Are we dumb? No, we're not. We're lazy and we prefer a preferable version of reality. And some of us just don't get the reality to do that. Circling back to David, who has to run for his life, who has to hide in the cave. He's watched all these people around him dying. Saul's own son ends up dying because of the decisions of his father, right? Whilst trying to protect David. He watches the other people of God who see no wrong in what David's doing, the wrong in what Saul's doing, but he's still king. He's still king, so he's the one who orders for them to be killed. This is what I'm saying. It's like kids, just reckless and just lost and ignorant. I don't want to hear another word from any of the world's politicians ever again right now. I genuinely believe we need to control, alt, delete. Just delete. And I don't mean kill, by the way. I mean step down. Know when your time is over. Like, this is what I love about Luffy and One Piece. In One Piece, you see all the exact things I'm telling you about. His generation is referred to as the worst generation. Shock frigging horror. And I know it happens every time. So that's my other question. It's like, if we know these things happen every time, when do we learn? When does the point come when we actually learn? And if the very least, if you're not going to learn, at least have humility and don't walk around pridefully like you people know what the hell you're doing. For goodness sake, right? So Luffy's generation is the worst generation in the show. But you know what's interesting about the older generations? It's the fact that you have the ones who understand that it's their role now. They've played their season and it's their role to help the younger generation. And they do. And it's actually touching to watch. And they spend the time training them because they don't just come around with this prideful attitude of me. They're like, no, we're going to train you up. This is what you need to do. We know it's for you. Because the whole thing is about them going to get the One Piece. And the people who went to where the One Piece is, the pirates before, you can tell that they realized that their part to play wasn't actually necessarily in going there because whatever they discovered, they understood. So they work as a team. Right? And I love that. And that's something I love in there. And it's always, and again, it's just like in my life, it's the same exact story. It's always the people who win. Like when I moved out, you guys, from this town, oh my gosh, I was getting so many compliments, right? From people in places of power. And it's still true to this day. That's why it's crazy with this experience in life. It's like people that matter in the world, people that are doing something of value actually see the value. Go freaking figure. And tend to be the most humblest of people. Like my own mentor, he's the most humblest person ever. If you see him, he's just in a tracksuit, some Nike trainers, very nice guy. You know what I mean? You wouldn't know, I've said who his mentor is, I won't say it again, right? You wouldn't know all these brands, all these big industry deals that he works with and all this stuff. You would never know. And I've seen, leaders even like saying in the church, walking around pridefully in their perfect little suits and whatever, yeah. Who I don't think have spoken to Jesus properly a day in their life, or even there for those reasons. They'll just automatically get respect because of calling themselves a title. You see, that's another thing that I have a problem with, is that when God uses words, he doesn't use those words for us to then figure out the terms and conditions of how we're going to do it. They are job roles. Trust me, I know a lot about job roles and job descriptions. And so does my generation right now. And there are some annoying things happening. I saw this happen to somebody else and I wasn't surprised because this happened to me. Like when people lie in their job adverts about either because you guys know I do mostly remote working, right? And that's because I need to be able to travel because I need something in this life. I need something. I need to be able to know I can just go because I already feel shackled. Anyway, and somebody mentioned how, people keep lying. And the thing is, it's actually a big deal because if companies are lying, one of the things I've realized about jobs and job searching and job hunting, right, which I'm not really looking, can I be honest? I'm really just working just to buy time. I don't foresee myself doing any of this stuff in the long term. But I'm just like, well, I'm an adult. So again, another thing that's just literally forced. No, it's not worth it. There's no fun to have. And that's another tone deaf thing that the older generations keep saying is like, to me, whatever. You got to make the most of your youth. How? We can't afford anything. We can't do anything. We've all grown up on social media. We're all overstimulated over everything. I saw this beautiful advert that somebody made. And I, again, shocked that it's not everywhere. And it had this couple and their daughter, right? And she was about 8. And they're out in like a shopping center. And then some girl, and the kid's name is Ava. And the guy goes, oh, hi, Ava, like this to her. And then the parents looking at each other like, what the heck? And I'm thinking, what the heck? And then somebody else walks up and is like, oh, congratulations on your 8th birthday, Ava. I saw that you enjoyed it. Another person's like, oh, Dad, how's Ava's swimming going? Have you managed to actually make it on time yet? Like, people have seen everything of their lives on the internet. That's why I don't care to share it now. I don't care to share everything on the internet now because I'm just like, listen, guys, we're too far gone in my generation. We're never gonna have the privacy. We're always all gonna have the Facebook posts of Twitter of 2006 popping up, and the photos, the videos. There's content of me that's out there that I would prefer isn't actually, that wasn't uploaded by me, if I can be honest with you. And it's across the board. It's not just in, like, I know people, it's not like I'm not saying like family related things, even just organizations and stuff. Because again, what we're not understanding, it seems, to the older generation, is that you people also don't know the ramifications of the decisions you're making. It sounds all fun and games to share photos of your kids on Instagram and here, there. Do you know that Roblox, and you guys know I always mention Roblox. Do you know that they're under a lawsuit right now for child trafficking, and what's the other one? Yeah, child sex trafficking and something else related. And that part of the lawsuit is that they were aware that this was happening on there. Yeah, let me circle back to that family I was living with. So that woman, right? She sits there pridefully, all like, oh, these people, like, because she's talking about specifically KSI, and this is what I'm saying. The adults feel too comfortable to say what they really think around me, and again, it's because they think I'm just like a kid. They're underestimating me. And she's like, oh, and anyways, I don't know why anybody's listening to it. They're not going to have any money in like 10 years. And I'm just like, have you seen, listen, these people are actually getting so rich. It's a joke, for starters. Second of all, you and your pride, are you not the one who brought Prime, the caffeinated drink, into your house that you pridefully gave to the kids? And I had to be the one to tell you that this is the one with caffeine that you're giving a 4 and a 9-year-old. I had to be the one to tell you. Where was you with all your pride and all your reading of the ingredients, lady? And also, joke's on you because you're still the same customer. The joke is always on you people. That's the gag. The gag is you are the joke. You are the joke. You are the punchline. That's the gag of it. That's why even when I was going to Italy, guys, without getting into too many details, I heard there was a different bunch of adults there, and you guys know I love the guys in Italy, right? Couple of them, right, had a tendency of the problem with the younger generation. That's why I don't know if you guys realized, the first year I went, if I had recorded more who was there, you'd be able to tell. I pretty much was the only one left of the younger people who was there. And the only reason is because of my friend. And again, I feel like she was just like, oh, she's barely even a singer. She's just underestimated. And I can kind of just go to her if I need anything. You know what I mean? Which honestly, I wasn't mad about. But anyway, because it's an incredible experience. And like, why would I not take the advantage to travel, to be paid, to have an experience I've never had before and push myself, right? But it's just the way they would talk about the younger generation. They're just so unprofessional these days. And they're just so, like, so many comments I've heard. This is where my fury comes from. The parents, oh, this. I'm like, okay. So when I was supposed to go at the end of last year, and then my tickets were wrong, right? Because they booked them the wrong way around. It should have been from London to Milan and then Milan back to London. But it was from Milan to London and London to Milan. Now, they had booked these tickets months ahead of time, right? And because it was in Italian, I was like, maybe I'm not understanding this correctly when I saw the thing in my inbox, right? Because again, and this is why I'm saying I learned a lot last year. I'm going to learn to back myself and not be intimidated by these people, right? That's one of the biggest lessons I had to learn, is to stop letting the older generations intimidate me, because it's true. Like, I will double back on what I would have done or what I would have said out of respect. As in, I'm trying to be respectful. I've tried, and guess what? It's not gotten me anywhere, and it certainly hasn't got the world anywhere, because look at the state of it, right? So when they messed up, I noticed, I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe I'm not getting it, because, in different languages, sentences are structured differently. So right from here, it might say, so in English, it might say departs from London Stansted and arrives at Milan, or it might say arrives at Milan after having departed from London. Do you know what I mean? You never know with languages. So Anyway, I wasn't sure, but I didn't worry about it. I just trusted them. I was like, it must be right. I must be wrong, because that's basically what we're told, isn't it? And so when I told them, the best part about it, right? Can I tell you, I relished in it. I remember the day I was supposed to go, obviously I ended up not having to work, and I just chilled. They were like, can you try and see if you can like rebook the flight? Can you try and reorganize it? And I was like, if you guys are able to do it, you're going to have to be able to do it. I didn't get an apology. I didn't get an acknowledgement. After all that was said, as if like we are just so long and we need to just crack in line. I'm the only young one who's managed to make it through to the end. And now we're all doing this. Can you do this? We need to get this done. I'm like, do you know what? If there's not an apology in the room, I don't want to hear about what extra work I need to do, because I've been made to feel as if I don't know anything. Like I just need to shut up and listen. And honestly, I did. It's a new experience. I was a novice. So, and that's how that ended. This is what I'm saying. I'm just getting sick of it at this point. I'm just getting sick. I'm getting really sick and tired, because I'm like, especially when in my job role, right? I'm here, especially now. Oh, Jesus. Lord help me. I'm here reading kids' files. I'm here reading this, that, and the other. And it's just like even now, right? One of these companies, they're kind of like an agency that can book you in work, which I kind of like those kind of jobs. Right? And so many of these kids are getting excluded from school, yeah? It's so crazy. They're getting excluded. And I'm like, on what grounds are we excluding so many kids? Because that's what I've been doing a lot of work with, this thing called AP, Alternative Provisions, which is basically where the same tax-paying money, rather than going into the school itself, goes to people like me through an agency, because of the kids who cannot be in school for whatever reason, whether that is special needs, whether that is extreme behavior, whether they've been excluded, they're still entitled to an education. So this is where people like me come into it. And I like jobs like this because I prefer a smaller classroom size, because you're screwing kids over, especially for the types of subjects I teach, for me trying to meet the needs of like 25 of them at the same time. And I believe the school system has a habit of favoring the people doing well and kind of just shoving the others to the side, because I know, at least in this country, ironically, a lot of times schools will put the best teachers with the highest level of students and the worst teachers with the lower level students. So like the kids who are considered lower level, they're almost like kicked while they're down. And it's really sad, because I feel like a lot of them, with just a bit more one-on-one attention, a bit more explanation, and just a bit more genuine kindness, right? And a bit of hope, would do so much better. So when I'm just dealing with all this stuff, I'm seeing even my job role, I've realized that it's true. A lot of people who go into things like teaching and nursing, they are bullies. They're doing it. A lot of these so-called noble jobs, it's just people who don't have respect anywhere else, haven't done anything respectful for themselves, and don't have any intrinsic contentment. So put themselves in a place where they get to dominate, right? So they can feel, so they can feel something. I don't need to feel nothing. This is why I don't care about money, power, and fame. I don't need to feel something. I don't need to feel the adoration of others. Look at the Holly weirdos. All of them trying to cling to fame, like why can't they just let it go? Let it go. Let your time go. And then when we now start to show up doing our own things, it's all, this is how you should do it. This is how it should be done. It's like, bro, how many times have you people tried to redo the same ideas that worked for a generation that exists before us? And before you realize, like, even like these movies, I'm like, how many more Spider-Mans does there need to be? How many times do we need to are we that dumb? And I think it's pride. And I think it's because they won't just let us flourish. They refuse to let us flourish, as if like we're taking something from them. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's giving Saul. They refuse to let us flourish. They refuse to let us embrace. Like the people who are winning in my generation, the ones who embrace the changes of the time. You know, those of us who did what we were supposed to do are more screwed over, because we were given advice based on a system that was already near death, was already dying. And for the simple fact, just look left and right and tell me how we don't all logically think. Like, this is how I know the world isn't a logical place, right? How do we not all logically look left and right and go, you know what? We might have got something wrong here. But again, it's like the example I gave of the Italy story arc. Oh, now that the mistake has been made by somebody else, because God forbid I make a mistake. God forbid I had made any mistake while I was there and while things were going down. And bearing in mind, my mistakes wouldn't have been that catastrophic. For them, it is, because they contractually agreed to have this X amount of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm here praying to the Lord. I'm here. You guys saw me literally crying, right? Praying to God, like scared that I was going to mess something up. And meanwhile, these people are walking around pridefully. And the real thing that needed to happen, because I remember every single year, I'd always be like, your one job is you get to the airport with everything you need. That's your one job. They're not asking you of anything. You get there. Because that's something we can't just switch up. If I have not got the right clothing or something, I can buy clothes there. If I have to practice the songs, if they change the songs, if they change whatever, fine. I have to get on that plane. I'm the only one coming from outside of the country. So, you know what I'm saying? And this is where I say humility, it helps. It helps a lot. You know, we've been humbled by life, just like I'm being humbled by my period. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to have to just accept that, you know, right now I don't have it in me. God help. I've been praying to God for help. Like, God help me. I'm not comfortable enough. I don't even have the reality where I can pretend like I have anything to be prideful about. I don't live a life that I can't even conjure up a fake universe if I wanted to, a fake storyline. I can't pretend. I can't come on here and airbrush myself and go around everywhere airbrushing myself and pretending like I'm okay. I can't. You know that? I just can't. I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me. I feel so unfortunate. I've been thinking constantly every single day about my moment of conception. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? And I've been asking God, why? What's the point? What's the point of giving us all these things? Allowing us to exist on this planet, us all having all these different types of wisdoms and skills and talents, if this is how we're going to use them. And what is the point if actually dedicating yourself and trying means that everything and everyone is either coming after you or against you? What's the freaking point? And you have to watch the casualties along the way, the people who couldn't handle the heat, the people who died because of being a part of it. And so when I got to this part of 2 Samuel, where it's like, okay, David's supposed to be king now. Yay, everything's happened. And then now Saul's sons are like, whoa. We got rights to this. That was our father. We got rights to this. So it's just another thing he's going to have to deal with. Another thing. Like Joshua in the wilderness with the people of God. Most generation didn't make it. They died in the wilderness. If I don't find the humor in these things, guys, I don't know what will happen, okay? So let me laugh about it. Yeah? Joshua has to overcome all of this, be born in the wilderness and just be like, well, whatever was happening in yesteryear, whatever comfortabilities you had over there in Egypt, well, I ain't never known that Egypt, that Pharaoh don't know me. I don't even know how to navigate going there because that place no longer exists and I was born in the wilderness. So that's the first hurdle. And then now I got to make it to the promised land. And then there's giants in the doggone promised land. Yes, there's giants in there. And of course, you know, with God, it's like, hey, that's not a big deal. He's like, listen, you know me, I can just get rid of them giants. But he needs vessels. And like, you know what I've been feeling from God? Like, to be honest with you, recently, I've been feeling like this sense from him of like, I need people to actually dedicate themselves to me like the way that people are dedicating themselves to the kingdom of darkness. Where are the people? Because it's true and it makes sense. He gave us dominion. And it's up to us. He gave us free will. Hence why right now I'm using my free will. No matter what anybody thinks about it, I'm using my free will to get off my chest what I need to get off my chest. The same way Epstein uses his free will for whatever he uses his free will for. Oh, here's another thing that's irritating me about everything, right? P. Diddy's situation, yeah? And how people are like, 50 Cent is so petty. Again, no one cares about the kids. The people don't care about the children. I don't find anything funny. Can I just say about that? There's nothing funny. There's no enjoyment of, because you see, no one really cares about the kids. You care about the glamour and the story and the drama of it all. Having something to distract you from your sad, pathetic loser lives. That's what it is. That's why people love reality TV. That's why people love to judge and comment and love to watch sports and love to worship celebrities. You know why? Because it gives you something to be proud of, because you have nothing to be proud of. This is why people die on the hill of, oh my gosh, as a black person, I need to do this because I'm black, or as a woman, I need to do this because I'm a woman, or because I'm this. Everybody has to take pride in something else. Oh, I'm a Christian like this. I'm a Muslim. You'll have to find pride in something else because you have no pride within yourself. You have no internal contentment because you're not, and that's what I realized. I realized about the people who are evil. I'm going to talk about that separately. You know what? We're going to leave that there. We're going to just let these videos all be what they are. Although I do have things I've got to do today, so I need to keep my eye. But yeah, I realized why people choose evil. Because they don't have the strength. They don't have the humility to face the truth. Because the truth about yourself is ugly. Like, I've been feeling like, wow, I actually have nothing left to give. Me, who has called her channel the winning team. If that isn't funny, but also terrifying. But it's not going to help if I come on here and I pretend like, and guys, but it's fine because I'm so sure that tomorrow is going to be a better day because I'm afraid to face the truth. It's not going to help me if I laugh at 50 Cent being so petty because I'm not prepared to face the truth of what's going on with these kids. It's not a laughing matter when I see these political leaders of the world looking weak because I know the enemy waits for a weak point to attack. So the more I'm seeing this flipping clown show, this flipping circus going on in world politics, the more I'm like, the devil's getting ready to strike and no one's ready because we're busy laughing about things we shouldn't be laughing about and taking pride in things that actually say nothing about you. This is why we get into divisions about dumb things. Because guess what? Me being a black woman only tells you I'm a black woman. That's all it tells you. And there may be some genetic dispositions and there may be whatever, but hey, black from what country? I don't know if you guys have ever seen how many countries are in Africa. That's another thing that bothers me, that the only two countries people seem to guess that I'm from is Nigeria and Ghana. I'm like, there's other countries in Africa, like quite a few. Yeah. And you just think, just as the only two you heard of and those are the only two you think. People bring things to my table thinking, because you're a black girl, then this. Excuse me? That says nothing about me. You don't know about me at all because of my skin tone. This guy, kid you not, this guy, right, asked me out. We went out for a walk because you guys know I love to go on an adventure walk. And you know what he says to me? We sat down. Do you know what he said? He's like, aren't you supposed to twerk because you're a black girl? What's that supposed to mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, people aren't prepared to face the truth because the truth can be really ugly. And the truth about us as humans is ugly because the truth is that we choose evil. The truth is that we are cowardly. That's why the book God tells Joshua in Joshua 1 that be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. And in Revelations, I think it's 17 or 21, right? God refers to cowardice as a sin that will send you to the second death. And you know why? Because at times like these, he needs people who can stand up. If you're calling yourself a child of God, if you're calling yourself whatever title, that needs to mean something. Right now, as we speak, and I'm sitting here going through this, my friend's just left to go back to his country in Turkey to go to the army because he felt like he wasn't doing enough. This guy who I've watched carry his family, all of this on his back, working crazy hours every single day. Not a complaint in sight, never complained about anything. And he's like, I feel like I'm not doing enough. I need to be more disciplined. I will die for my country. Gone. Can you believe that? And what am I seeing from everybody else? 50 Cent is so petty. Oh, look at them on in politics. Oh, this. And all just nonsense. When we are born, you guys, when God puts us on this earth, it's because it's not just for us to just la-di-da-di-da. Do you know how embarrassing it would be for me to die and go to heaven like this? And to see what David and Joseph and Elijah and Esther and Jesus and disciples and all these people went through. All that they sacrificed, right? So that I might receive the gospel, right? Because David, king of Judah, he had to become king because that was the prophecy of Jesus Christ, the Lion of the tribe. We all play a part in this team. And that's why, in short, I'm sick of the lack of teamwork. That's why I don't want to be around anybody, because I don't want to waste my freaking time on dumb, stupid things when there's bigger fish to fry. And I'm not even going to get into my problems with us as men and women being against each other, because you guys know that's the one that drives me the most insanely crazy. Because I'm like, if we spent as much time like misunderstanding each other as we did us understanding each other, it's sickening actually be existing around men and women. Because sometimes I'm just sitting there in the midst of conversations happening between men and women, right? And I'm just sitting there and it's like, you got two people who are so busy trying to convince the other person, like, this is what you should do. This is one of the reasons I don't like to talk about stuff, guys, either, because I know all the connotations, how people are going to take what I'm saying, because I'm a woman, because I have a womb. Now everyone's just like, oh, she's just angry because she's on her period, right? This is why I don't like to talk on my period, because I feel like my words are invaluable just because of that alone. Right? People going back and forth. I'm like, you guys are speaking different languages, and maybe instead of trying to bark the instructions of your language, maybe try to understand the other person's language more first. Seek to understand more than you seek to be understood. You know what I mean? Maybe, just maybe, we might get somewhere. Don't treat the other person like an alien or some long, difficult thing to bear. Because you know what? I've got sick of that as well. That's why I don't want to talk about any types of any relationships with anyone. I'm sick of hearing on either side. I'm sick of hearing from the guys. I'm sick of hearing from the women. Oh, yeah, women are like this. Men are like this. Oh, because you're a woman. Oh, because he's a man. Because of the this. I'm sick of it. It's like, should we just say we hate each other and then just leave it there? Should we? So, I don't know, it's getting dark now. And do I feel better? A little bit. Honestly, I'm just going to run my mouth for as long as I need to get everything off my chest, because it's just bleak. And I'm just like, God, what do we do? Because the answers are not here, because the humans are not doing anything. Like, we need a solution. And I'm only one woman. And that's the most humbling truth of it all. I'm just one person. And I can only do so much by myself. And it's not that there's no other people, but it's like, where are the people who are focused on the task at hand and the group project? Where are they? Where are they? I would like to know, because I only know of you guys. And a lot of you guys are fighting for your lives like I am. And a lot of people who could or should be contributing are just not. Distracted with other things. That's why I don't even watch the news, you guys. I don't care. I don't care what's happening in the world. Listen, if we're going to World War III, I'll know about it when I hear the first bomb going off. That's how I see it. Because at this point, what's the use? What's the use? What's the use in speaking up? What's the use in trying to, educate myself, because even all the stuff we know in history and stuff, like I've been thinking scientific research is all a scam because it's usually biased, has to be funded by somebody who has to have some kind of interest in doing the research and probably has some kind of interest in a preferred outcome, number one. Number two, I don't even trust flipping, what was I going to say? History. Because they're all like, oh, if you check the historical text, I've been getting sick of even thinking about history. How much of history was burned? And again, history is written by the victors. So much of history we don't even have access to. So a lot of the stuff I could be saying, or any of us could be saying, that again, we're here walking around pridefully with, could be wrong anyway. There's actually nothing to trust and nothing to do here. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste that this sperm and this egg came together and I had to be here. And I just, oh my gosh, I can't believe that had to happen. I can't believe I'm the sperm that won. Anyway, I'm going to get the other things off my chest. I need to get off there because I have a theory about the devil. I have a theory about why people do actually choose evil, because yeah, what I will say is it's rough. So yeah, guys, who knows when we're going to circle back to that second Samuel series about David, because brother, it feels like I need to take another deep breath before I even think about the concept that now he's going to still have to fight again for the throne that is his. And it's just like, God, when does it end? When does the season change? When do we finally cross over? I just want to know what it's going to feel like the first night I get to sleep in the promised land, whatever that means. I just want to know what it's going to feel like to not be fighting this hard. And it's just like the words of Emily Sandé, the day always lasts too long. And the day always lasts too long. Anyways, you guys, I'll see you in the other videos, hopefully. Oh, my stomach. Oh my gosh, my womb is really, it's chiming in, doing its thing. So I'm going to go and just, yeah. Anyways, you guys, if life's a game, it's played to win. Just kidding. If life's a game, it's played to win. I really am miserable. But I will say the joy of the Lord is my strength, because somehow in the midst of it all, I still find myself laughing. But it's just like, it's just not worth it, guys. It just doesn't feel like. And to thought that I'm going to have to go through this for the rest of my life, even if I get my tubes tied, even if I get my womb taken out, hysterectomy, because of it's my makeup, in my makeup of my body, I'm a woman, I'm still going to experience some, like, it's literally forced upon you. There is no consent in life as a woman, I fear. What do you mean this is forced upon me? Even if I remove everything, because it's in my DNA, and it's just like, I'm gonna have to deal with this in some version for the rest of my life. The rest of my life. 3 weeks of the month on this crazy roller coaster, and then just a little short burst of a break for a moment. You know? So anyway, if life's a game, it's played to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.